What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the VO2 Max channel. As you can see, today we've got a little bit something different here on the docket. We're going to be playing a game called Rogue Tower. So this game's created quite a stir since it's came out. Since it has come out, not since it's came out. That's not how you say that. Since its release, I think is what I was meant to say, and then just didn't. It's a roguelike tower defense kind of thing. Well, it's definitely a tower defense, which I'm sure you could probably surmise by the title, but it's a roguelike tower defense game. I played a ton of it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I played a ton of it, but I did go in and reset all my XP, so we don't have any of these. We don't have any of the cards unlocked. I can't unlock any of these things right now. I have no experience, but there's a quite a hefty amount of cards, and I'll explain them as we go here. So I'll just kind of scroll through what you can unlock. So the way this game works is you'll be doing your tower defense, and every couple of levels, at least in the beginning, this is how it works. Every couple of levels, you get your choice of a couple of new cards, and in the beginning, you don't have anything unlocked, so you don't get any cards aside from the ones that you already have unlocked, which are not many. But here's some of the first things that you buy. Like, you get to draw an additional card when you upgrade cards. You draw a card every 2 rounds instead of every 3. You draw a card every round. You draw an additional card. Enemies drop more gold. There's treasury. You start the game with more gold. There's mana. There's chances to repair your tower. There's things for bleed and poison, and there's banditry and lifesteal. There's all these little things. There's different buildings you can put down, different towers, and all of these. So if you look at each of these trees, so this one here is the ballista. I know I'm zoomed out and you can't read that, but this all pertains to the ballista. Then this one is a mortar. It all pertains to mortar. The Tesla coil, the frost keep, flamethrower, poison sprayer, the lookout, the encampment, the buzz or the shredder, radar, obelisk, and finally particle cannon. Those are all the towers that are in the game. So it's kind of cool. It reset all my stats. So I figured I'd bring you guys a kind of a brand new thing, at least for me. It's a bit of a chill game. So the way this game works is, as you can see, I have no. Oh my god! I'm so glad they fixed this. So the one main complaint I had about this game before was that you couldn't just click and drag the map around. I was hoping this was going to be kind of like a full idle map, where you can, a full idle game. Sorry, and not an idle game, but one like I don't have to use my other hand. All I'm playing with is the mouse. Like, I don't have to move the camera around at all. There's no rotate. But as you can see in the top corner here, you've got your WASD keys move the camera around, which you can do for sure. You can do that. But I prefer to just click and drag. So it treats it a little bit more like an RTS, a real-time strategy game. You've got your tower health up in the top of the UI here, and then your mana. Currently, we don't have any mana per second. We have no way to generate mana, so that's not going to be overly useful for us. But what we are going to do here before we start is we're going to slap down a couple of ballistas. I wonder if there's a way to... I'm not sure. To make it so that I don't have to click it every single time. Maybe there's like a control... Hold shift, pause or escape game, hide UI. Yeah. So the way this game really kind of works, and where it has lots of fun, is that these towers can be leveled up, and they can be leveled up to do health multiplier, armor multiplier, or shield multiplier. So I'm just gonna level them all up to 5. And as you can see, I know I went to 6 on that other one. As you can see, the cost increases as you go. But these towers will level up over time. You'll see these progress bars will fill up, and then the cost actually gets cheaper as you progress. So it doesn't get to be cost prohibitive. And then here's the main gameplay loop. So this is nice. So these houses, they will give you money based on the amount of towers that are around them and the level that it's on. So we're about to go into level 3. This house will give me $9 because it'll give me 3, 6, 9 gold coins. Then on level 4, it'll give me 4, 8, 12 coins, and so on and so forth. And now there are maps that I've seen. There's about 6 or 8 houses all around, and you can just stack ballistas all around this thing, and you can be getting thousands and thousands of gold every single run. Oh, I don't have any more money. That's okay. But I'm gonna target most health with this guy. So mana bolts isn't going to help us at all right now because we don't have any plus mana. So I think that means that they would just not be firing. The way to get that is to siphon mana from crystals, which I think I'm going to pick here. So these are the cards I was talking about. So here's level 3. These are the cards. And so each level is every time you add a tile set on. So I think I'm going to go mana siphon. No, you know what? Let's go ballistas. I think I'm gonna go for ballistas and mortars. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, okay, here we go. I just wanted to make sure my camera and audio were good. And then the one other thing that I'll mention really quickly. So yeah, see here. Now the cost to upgrade this one is 18. It went down a little bit. Same as this guy. It's down to 49 from 50. It didn't do a lot of damage, that being said. Another thing I will mention, this is a great map already. Anything that loops back on itself, because then you can really make use out of your defenses. So when I put another tile here, these ballistas are going to be able to work. As you can see, these ballistas are going to be able to work on this tile set. And then this one, we're going to choose... Yeah, we'll just leave them all on progress for a second here. But the next thing I was going to say is... As you can see, there's different heights. There's different verticality pieces to these set tiles. If you place a ballista on flat ground, you get no bonus. If this is a +1, right here it will be a +1, this is a +2, and then this will be a +3. They get range bonus and they get damage bonus. They get base damage bonus. This number will increase. So you can see I'll grab... Oh, okay. I can't grab a level 0 one, but I'll put a ballista up on level 3 here. Actually, you know what? I'll put one... Yeah, I'll put one there. So now you can see its range is 7.5 versus the range here of 6. So it gains an extra half a tile per and I think the tiles are like this particular block, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. I think is how it works, or it counts itself as itself. But as you can see, its base damage is already 13 because it's on a +3, whereas this guy's base damage is only 11 at a level 2. This is a base damage of 14 because we upgraded it a little bit. But so that's basically the gist of this game, and then the goal is to just continue on doing harder and harder. The enemies get more and more intense. They get beefier. Actually, I'm gonna set this guy to armor, and then put a few points into armor, because he'll be able to shred off some armor. So you can see the enemies there. They had a little yellow bar. +1 damage to health. Yeah, we'll take broadhead bolts for now. There we go. So that card we got just gave us a passive. So we have a +1 range. That was our previous passive, and then +1 health damage. So that's good. And so as you can see, on our level 6, we'll get 21 gold on our next go here. So that'll take us up to 91. And that was just from the little town there, basically. And so as you go, you want to make use out of these houses as much as you possibly can, because it's good money. I think I will. Actually, we'll get that guy up to level. There we go. Because we want to be able to kill things off, or at least do good amounts of damage before they make it to the end here. These guys, I put points in, knowing that they're going to level up regardless. So, and our first run is not likely to go very well, because you just don't have the mana, or you have no mana, and you don't have the gold generation that you would normally get. So this ballista is going to stay here, and then I'll probably start putting a couple in here, just to chew through some enemies. And just because this guy's set to armor, it doesn't mean that he won't attack whoever. But as soon as these guys show up, he'll go for the armored guys. And in fact, I might, no. This guy, I might switch to armor as well. Do something like that. And like I said, it doesn't mean that they won't attack whoever. They'll just attack the person with the most armor first, and then they have multiple priorities. I don't really know what that means. It's never really explained. So I will put, oh, this is awesome. So we can get, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can actually get 4 houses around this. Sometimes you'll get a house where you can see there's different levels here, but that didn't matter. The other thing is you can demolish your tower for the cost that you paid for it. So we paid 130 gold. You can demolish this for 130 gold. You'd lose out on your upgrades that you put into it, which is a bit of a bummer. And you see that tower alone gave me 9 gold. Plus the 9,820 or 9,1827 gold from there. So we got 36 gold just from putting down towers. For doing nothing. Oh. I need to set that guy for armor. No. There we go. I just want this guy to just start picking off. Just kind of start picking off enemies. So we're going to start taking some damage here, I think. Yeah, I think we'll be taking a little bit of damage. That's okay. Our first couple of runs probably aren't going to go very well. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to set one of these guys for... Oh, here we go. Where's near death? There we go. I'm going to set 2 of these guys for near death or least health. There we go. We are absolutely going to grab mortar. Mortar does a massive amount of damage. So the mortars, I'm going to try and place as high as I can put them. Like, it'll probably go here, and then it's just going to bomb the shit out of everybody. And as soon as we hit 200 gold, we may or may not even survive this wave. Yeah, and it's okay if we don't. If we don't survive this one, it's not a big deal. The first couple of runs are usually pretty bad. And I could probably be playing this a little bit better. Mortar. So this guy I'm going to set to most armor. So these guys do a massive amount of damage. That one thing alone may have just saved us. That mortar alone. Just for chunking down these guys right at the end. Oh no. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got down to 2. Okay. We've got problems. But now that we've got this mortar, we might be okay. So I always try and put these guys up on a +3 level so they get the most amount of range. So this thing can do just absolutely silly damage all over here. So hopefully this makes a big difference, just chewing off armor. So this guy, yeah, we'll level him up a little bit more. I do want to put in a couple more ballistas down here. And then, okay, so here you can see we've got interesting, and now we've got some major problems. We just got a 3-way split. So we are very unlikely to go a whole lot further in this run. So this mortar's gonna have to start doing some serious work for us. And if I can slap down another ballista, I will, as soon as I can. Come on. Come on. As soon as we hit 140, there we go. Oh, here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh, that mortar didn't do anything. Oh no. Oh, there's our run. That's okay. So that's a little stat screen. I'm not going to go into it a whole lot. If you want to go back and pause it real quick, you can. I want to get into this because this is where things kind of start to take off here. So I'm gonna grab the draw card. Ballista is basically all your cards are already bought for you, so that doesn't do anything for you. But I'm gonna grab enemies drop an additional gold when they die. I could grab treasury to start the game with more. Yeah, I probably won't grab fortification. I do a repair. Some of these are unlocked after you see it says unlock 5 more cards. That means I need to spend. I'll just buy that. Now it says, well, okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that. Oh, because those aren't cards, that's why. So you have to unlock a certain amount of these cards in order to have access to some of these later on perks, like all these guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start buying. I'm just gonna start buying the cheap stuff. 40. We don't. Oh yeah, we have Tesla coil. I don't like the Tesla coil myself, personally. We've got 40 experience. Oh, look at this. So instead of buying another card, I'm gonna buy this. So enemies will now drop 2 additional gold. One from here and one from here when they die. So that's gonna help smooth out our gold a little bit. So now let's go do another one. And as you can see, there's a single tower defense. There's a double defense, which just splits you right at the tower. Oh, here we go. This is better. So now we've got some... This will be a little bit of passive money coming in every single round. So I'm just going to stack the shit out of ballistas right here. There we go. And one more there. So these houses, you have to put towers perpendicular to them. And the bonuses will stack. Like this house will get a bonus for all 3 of these, and this house will get a bonus for all 3 of these. Even though this one's right in the middle, it applies to both houses. And I don't think I'll level up a whole heck of a lot here. I will put in more ballistas. So we just get more money. And it's too bad because that map last time started out pretty okay. That's alright though. So now we're getting so much money. Look at that. So that was 6, 6, 4, 6. So 6, I mean that was like 20 gold right there. So we've got 65, 98. We got 30 gold basically just from having that. And I'll definitely slap a couple more in here. I'm gonna let these guys level up a little bit more. I might have gone a little bit too crazy. Ballista, same problem. I gotta choose either mana siphon or mana bolts. If I choose mana bolts, I'm not sure if these things fire, because they can't consume mana. So I don't think that's smart to do. This is a really good one to have, but it's better to get it a little bit later on. They lose base damage, but they gain crit chance based on what level they are. So right now, we're not going to be able to level up our towers to like level 10, 15, 20, 30, 50. Like I think they go up to 100. We're not going to be able to get our towers up that high. There's almost no way. We just don't have the amount of resource generation to make that happen. So it's not really going to be worth it in the beginning. If this run goes a lot longer and we get into like, you know, level 15, level 20 on our map, and then that pops up, that might be a smart thing to grab, because our towers will, you know, they might be at level 10, something like that. So basically it's in between mana siphon, longbow, and that's it. So I'm going to grab longbow again. I could have grabbed mana siphon. Absolutely, I could have. Ooh, this will be good if we can get this to wrap around, and if these guys can potentially... If this comes off this way, that'd be awesome. Gonna slap a ballista there. Let's just keep it on progress. Put a couple levels into him. There we go. We're just gonna keep rocking out like this. See, this is a bit of a problem. We got a split right away here. So that means we've got 3 times the amount of enemies coming in now. But at least these guys get to shoot a little bit more than they did last time, because we've got a corner. So a couple of these will get to put some damage down before anything else. So I will slap down this guy here. Just give him a couple of... I'm going to expand it this way, because then these guys get a chance to do some damage and to level up a little bit. Obviously not on this particular one, but once this tile set shows up, then all of these guys will, at least these two, will have an opportunity to shoot enemies on the backside and gain some levels, so they'll be a little bit more useful to us than they otherwise are right now. Oh, and we just got mortar. Nice. So I'm going to take mortar, and I will stick a mortar right up on top here. Oh, and look at that. 3. Let's put it there. And this is going to service basically all of our needs around here. I'm going to set it to most armor. And you can see the mortar cost goes up quite substantially. It went from 200 to 275, whereas ballistas go up by 10 each time. I'm gonna expand that so that these guys can shoot the shit out of. Look at this. Even this one gets to get a few levels. I'll put a couple of levels into there. And then this guy set to most armor. Yep. Which is good. He's uniquely situated to strip off armor, because he starts out with an armor multiplier. And so how the damage is calculated is basically the armor multiplier times the base damage. So as you can see, for the health multiplier is 10. Oh, he just leveled up. So it's 11 times 24 is 264. That's why having the base damage as high as you can get it right in the beginning is so beneficial. And so just with a couple of levels, we've taken this guy to do almost 500 damage against armor. Now, one of the other things you have to remember, it's kind of cool, we got a little lake in here. And that would be something that I would ask the developer to do. If you end up closing off a loop kind of like this, you could fill that in with water or grass or something like that. Maybe not grass, but maybe a water feature would kind of look cool. One of the other things you have to pay attention to here is the enemies will all come in at the same time. They come in at the same rate for the most part. There's faster and slower enemies. But the more you expand out this trail, so if I expand this one out again, it's going to take these enemies a lot longer to get here, to get around this whole loop, than it's going to take these guys. So ideally what you want to do is kind of offset how your enemies are filing in. So I'm going to push this one out, and now you can see these guys are coming in right away. So that means our mortar can focus on these guys. Then it'll be able to focus on these guys, because it'll go for the armor. And our towers are going to hit these guys. So you kind of want to offset it, and then you want more of just a steady stream of enemies going in versus giant groups all together. That's when you run into big problems. Like, as you can see, we're already doing way better than we were before. And I can't put that one down, but we'll give it a couple levels there. And this ballista is doing some serious work for us, because it's up on a level 2. And I could probably put a couple more up on level 3s here. And I will do that. I just want to get our resource generation kind of rocking and rolling here. And yeah, so these guys will just level up over time, just as we go. Nice. Yeah, I just need this mortar to strip off armor for us, and I'll probably slap down another one. If you start putting down 2, 3, 4 mortars, they can do some crazy damage. There we go. So we set this guy for armor, because that is what they are uniquely good at. And this guy can hit most of the map that we've got going on here. So he'll be hitting ballistas. Ooh, all ballistas gain 5% slow. That's what I'm going to grab. So ballistas will now slow enemies, and it stacks up quite a bit. Let's push this one out. Yeah, so I just kind of want to offset. Now, you don't want to do that too much. You don't want to even things out, and you don't want to have a crazy offset, but you want to have a couple of tiles from any split, so it gives your mortars and your towers enough time to deal with enemies. So I'm going to slap a, yeah, let's put a +3 up here. And we'll set him to most health. So this guy's going to be just picking off the enemies with the most health, just doing crazy damage. And then these guys are going to clean up. Hopefully everything's, by the time we get really rocking and rolling, so everything funnels into here. So I'm going to focus a lot of my defenses right in this particular area right here, this choke point, because they all have to come down this last leg together. So let's push that one out a little bit. Give these mortars a little bit more time to bomb these guys. And the mortars will track enemies, whichever one they target. It'll track the enemy. The only time it kind of doesn't work very well is when the enemy that it was tracking gets killed before it explodes. But as you can see, having even just a couple of mortars, it's huge just to strip off the armor. I'll set these guys, I think I'll set these guys for armor. There we go. And then the last couple of dudes here. Let's push that one out a little bit. Oh my goodness, we got lots of money. I'm not gonna put a ballista here quite yet. There we go. There we go. Just to get these guys stripped. So these guys, when they die, they will, they'll explode out some smaller enemies. They're like a little troop carrier. And this guy somehow managed to get through relatively unscathed. And so as you can see, those enemies are slowing down based on our ballistas dealing slow damage. Boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, and there's not a whole lot more I can say about this game right now, aside from ballistas gain +1 range, ballistas gain 1 damage to shields. We don't have to deal with shields quite yet, so let's go high explosive health, or shells. And let's see if we can slap down another ballista here. That's level 5, level 5. We'll do that. We'll take him up to level 5. And let's push that one out. So as you can see, like, each of these houses was getting like 39 gold. Like, look at that. We're 237. I can buy another ballista almost. I'm gonna grab another mortar and slap it here, I think. As soon as I can. As soon as we clear 350. There we go. Most armor. There we go. And then now we're going to be doing some crazy damage, because this guy will be able to hit a lot more of the enemies over here. This one will be hitting some different ones. And right in the beginning, this path is going to take a pounding, because both of these mortars hit that specific area. But you can see why the mortars make such a big difference. And now you don't need a bajillion of them. It's nice to have just a couple more. Yeah, we'll keep them on progress. There we go. And then let's push that one out a little bit. I think I'm going to try and keep this one relatively short. I might go one more and then see if I can slap some ballistas around the... just to get some more money here. These two outposts are just kind of money generators for us right now, because they're not really doing a whole lot. How are these guys making out? Yeah, they're doing okay. Progress, progress, progress. I'm gonna set a couple of these to near death. Go. And yeah, this is about it. The game is just going to get harder and harder, and we're going to have to deal with things like, they've got armor right now, but our enemies will have shields, which we'll have to chew through. There's status effects you can get, which will give you like fire damage and poison damage, bleed damage. and those all affect different things. Bleed damage affects the health, fire damage affects the armor and its ability to regenerate, and poison will affect the shields specifically. So okay, 325. Let's slap another one in here. No, you know what? Let's put one there. And then I'm gonna push this one out once. I'm gonna leave this loop kind of the way it is. I'm gonna push these other two legs out a little bit. Oh, and we've got our first boss. We've got Oogie. Here's Oogie. I'm gonna slap down another mortar. I'm gonna put it here. Sorry, got something going on here. I know I just left that on for too long. Ooh, look at this. Oogie's almost dead. That's awesome. That makes me feel good. We didn't take... None of those enemies made their way through. So that's great. So, we can... Ooh, +2 to health, damage to shields, or... Let's go a little bit more slow. And so, Oogie dropped for us a couple of treasure chests. Now we could drop down a Tesla coil, and I might do that, except I put my mortar here. This is a perfect spot for the Tesla coil. I'm just gonna grab this. Let's go for the mana siphon. And we'll slap down a couple of mana siphons, just in case. There we go. Spend a little bit of money, slap down some mana siphons. Okay, sorry, I got things and stuff at work happening. So that's the longest leg there. Let's push that one out a little bit. So now things are going to get a little bit more difficult because we've got some shields. Now we've got shields to contend with, so... I'm gonna put a couple of these guys to deal with some shields. There we go. See, that's the gray, as you can see. And the shields are basically just armor, just of a different kind that doesn't take the same damage as your regular armor. And I will set maybe level 5, level 7. He's doing okay. I'll set one of these. That's most armor. Let's set this guy for a shield. And bump him up a little bit. Because we're going to have some problems. There we go. Set this guy for progress, because now he's going to start bombing these ones. And that's what we need. We need him to bomb the frontline enemies. Because we're going to have some big problems with these shielded enemies. In fact, we're unlikely to get a whole lot further than right now. Just because we don't have the amount of damage. Yeah, we're about to lose 3 more there. We'll be able to kill that guy, but that's tough. Sorry guys, just give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna slap down a couple more ballistas just to see if we can deal with those shields. These guys, unfortunately, are not set up to deal with shields. So, like I said, we're unlikely to get a whole lot further here. Okay, put down another... I could slap down another mortar. I don't have anywhere near the money for that, though. So we'll do shields as much as we can. Just to hopefully stem the tide of enemies coming in. Oh, game over. We lost. I wasn't even paying attention. That's okay. Once those shields came out, I knew we were not long for the world, because we don't have anything to particularly deal with those shields. So I'm not going to do another run right now. I don't have the time, and there's things at work happening, so I should probably make my way in there. But we got 389 experience we can spend. So can we... Yeah, let's grab mana generation. So now we're going to be generating a little bit of mana. I'll grab one of those. So that takes us up to 120. So we'll be generating 1 and 2 mana at the tower. So that mana siphon didn't end up working out for us because we didn't get anything that needed that. But here's where things are going to get a little crazier. I'm going to pick up the Flamethrower and the Poison Sprayer. And I'm just going to spend... I'm going to spend the 5 experience on these things. All they are is basically... and it's all basically the same thing. So the Flame Tower uses flame... great against armor, weak against shields. Poison Sprayer, weak against armor, great against shields. So they're just opposite to each other. And then the Shredder deals... the Shredder deals bleed damage, which is great for health. So basically all the improvements are very similar to each other. So if you look at Napalm 1 here, it says all flamethrowers deal an additional 1 damage to health. If I come over here to the Ballista, all ballistas deal an additional 1 damage to health. Come down to Mortar, high explosive shells, all mortars deal an additional +1 damage to health. So all of these cards act the same way. So if you see me kind of scrolling through and going really fast, oh, like I can't read what you're buying, I'm basically just buying stuff that we kind of already have, just for different against armor. I want shields. How do I unlock these ones? These are really good too. So I'm gonna pick up those. So that's like all X, deal an extra 50% X damage, poison damage over time, which is particularly effective against shields, but that'll be the same thing I just bought for the flame. I want this level, especially for this. I wonder if I have to max this out. I'm not sure how to unlock this one. But the poison sprayer does very well against shields, so that's where you slap one down kind of near the end. Like if we'd have had that on that last run, we would have made it a lot further than we did, because those shields would have got just completely stripped away. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do spores, and oh, you know what? Let's see what other cards we can unlock here. We can do another gold drop. No, we can't. Oh, we can draw an additional card. That's nice. Or begin the game with a little bit extra more, I'm gonna do an additional card, because that's 54 experience. And then, yeah, and then you've got these additional cards down here that increase your bleed per second from 26 to 50. All attacks against bleeding enemies gain 5% crit chance. They take additional damage, you know, those types of things. So, but you got one for bleed, you've got one for fire, you got one for poison, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's Rogue Tower, and that's basically the gist of the game. You do your tower defense, then there's a little bit of this meta progression, and I know this is it's a full release, but I know that they're working, the developer is working on adding in more features and probably more towers. And some of the towers get pretty crazy. You get into like the obelisks and the particle cannons. They can get pretty wild. So, here, and then I'll show you the. So you can have the single defense, the double defense, which is exactly what is showing in the background here. There's two lanes that you have to defend. I don't know why I keep saying defend. That you have to defend, and then there's a triple defense, which gets even nuttier. And that's probably something that you want to do like for a challenge mode or like way down the line. So that's, yeah. And like I said, I don't have too much to say. It's a pretty, I don't want to say it's a basic game, because it's not like basic. There's lots going on. There's lots of things you have to think about, targeting, and maybe I could have changed my targeting up a little bit. But there's your towers, and there's placements and targeting, and then you have to pick and choose which way you want your lanes to go, because that can actually play a big impact on it. So as you saw, that one loop that curved around to the backside, and then our ballistas that were sitting at the tower that normally wouldn't be doing anything until the enemies come all the way back through, they were able to just, you know, do a couple of shots as enemies were walking through on the backside. So that means that those towers are actually getting the money's worth out of them. So yeah, this has been Rogue Tower. I really like the game. I played the hell out of it when it first came out. I had a bunch of stuff upgraded. I had like all this unlocked, and I had Flamethrower and Poison Spray. I had most of these things unlocked. It actually doesn't take all that long. Once you get a decent run, you can end up getting like, you know, hundreds, if not, I mean, that was a terrible run, all things considered. We got through one boss, and we ended up with, what, 300 and some odd experience, or 500 experience, whatever it was. And that was a pretty bad run. So you can for sure get a lot better, and you can get thousands of experience at a time and spend all your experience unlocking things. Things happen pretty quick in this game, believe it or not. The first couple runs are not great, and then after you get a couple of things and a couple more cards unlocked, a couple of different towers, like I said, if we'd have had that poison sprayer, that would have been game over. We would have probably survived another 10 waves at least before things got too hard. So yeah, so this is Rogue Tower. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, or if you like the game or the video or whatever, hit that thumbs up button. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with any friends or family that you think might enjoy this type of game. It's kind of chill. You don't actually even have to use your keyboard hand. You literally can just play it with your mouse now. And that was the one thing about the game that I didn't like, and I'm glad they fixed, was that now you can drag that map around. That was the only thing I wanted them to do, and they did that. So, oh, and here we go. I can show you this a little bit. So I won't read this all, but this is what there's. You got a haste bar. There's fortification. You got health, armor, shields. Oh, there's the slow meter. There's all your damage over times, your bleed, fire, and poison. And they slowly tick down as you go. But yeah, so I'll let you guys read that. If you want, just pause the video. There's the battering ram, and that's all we got to zombie. And look at this, there's way more enemies that we didn't even see. And we were having problems just on that. So you can see they've got different speeds, health, different speed, big speed, or sorry, less speed, big health, armor. And then there are things that go even faster. Excuse me. Sorry, it's first thing in the morning for me. So I'll let you guys read those things if you want to just go back on the video and pause it. I'm not going to read all that text by itself. But like I said, this is Rogue Tower. I want to thank you guys for hanging out, and I will catch you next time. Peace, YouTube. Mwah.